welcome to Business Point here on Global Television, your hub for topical discussions in the world of business, tech innovation, as well as government policies. I am Queen Agaba. Today we'll have a rundown of the news-making waves in the world of business as we also look at housing deficit in Nigeria with our expert guest who would help us make better sense of the situation. First of all, Lagos, Nigeria's economic hub, is facing peculiar challenge and thousands of job vacancies but no suitable candidates to fill them. This skills gap is largely due to a mismatch between skills possessed by the workforce and those required by employers. Several factors contribute to this gap. The education system in Nigeria particularly focuses on theoretical knowledge rather than practical skills, leaving graduates unprepared for the job market. Additionally, many Nigerians lack access to vocational training and skills development programs, which are essential for acquiring in-demand skills. The IT sector is particularly affected with a significant shortage of skilled professionals, and this shortage is exacerbated by the fact that many Nigerian universities focus on producing graduates with general IT skills rather than specialized skills in areas like cloud computing, cybersecurity, and data analytics. But despite these challenges, there are efforts on the way to address the skill gap. Efforts from organizations which are offering training programs and certifications in demand skills like digital marketing, data science, and software development. Another news, Bitcoin is indeed struggling to break through the $85,000 barrier, currently trading at $83,241.09 with a 1.10% increase. The cryptocurrency's price is being weighed down by rising sell-off pressures and market uncertainty. What are the key factors contributing to the struggle? One would be increased selling pressure. Short-term holders are liquidating their Bitcoin holdings with around 10,000 BTC, which is being sold daily. Another struggle would be the lack of accumulation. The absence of significant buying interest is also exacerbating the downward pressure on Bitcoin's price. And then the overall market sentiment remains shaky, with investors cautious about the cryptocurrency's potential for recovery. And then the possible outcomes we should be looking at is that if Bitcoin fails to reclaim the $85,000 level, it may experience further price declines, potentially dipping below $80,000. And a breakout above $85,000 will signal a recovery rally with potential targets at $87,000 and $89,800. We'll take a quick break. When we return, we'll look at the news making rounds in the world of business before we have our conversation. Please stay with us.
know that Global Television can be watched in Nigeria and all over the world?
Download the Global TV Nigerian mobile app for Android and iOS devices to watch Global Television real-time from around the world. What are you waiting for?
Start downloading and stay connected to Global Television.
Many thanks for staying with us on Business Point. And if you've just joined us, this is Business Point, your hub for topical discussions in the world of business, tech, innovation, and government policies. Bitcoin is struggling to break through the $85,000 barrier, currently trading at $83,241.9 with a 1.10% increase. The cryptocurrency's price is being weighed down by rising sell-off pressures and market uncertainties. Key factors contributing to the struggle. One may ask, what are these key factors? Short-term holders are liquidating their Bitcoin holdings with around 10,000 BTC sold daily. And also, the absence of significant buying interest is also exacerbating the downward pressures on Bitcoin price. And the overall market sentiment remains shaky, with investors cautious about the cryptocurrency's potential for recovery. And the possible outcomes with all of the struggles, if Bitcoin fails to reclaim the $85,000 level, it may experience further price declines, potentially dipping below $80,000. A breakout above $85,000 could also signal a recovery rally with potential targets at $87,041 and $89,800. Nigeria's food import bill is projected to reach a staggering $110 billion by 2025 if Nigeria fails to adopt digital agriculture, according to the Sasakawa African Association. This warning highlights the urgent need for Nigeria to transform its agricultural sector through digital solutions. And now, to address this issue, the SAA is advocating for the adoption of digital agricultural extension services, which can help improve agricultural productivity, enhance farmers' access to markets, and reduce the country's reliance on food imports. Nigeria's agricultural sector also faces numerous challenges, including low productivity, inadequate infrastructure, and limited access to finance. However, with the adoption of digital agriculture, the country can leverage technology to improve agricultural outcomes, reduce costs, and also increase efficiency. We'll take a quick break now. When we come back, we'll turn to the housing sector, looking at housing deficits. Please stay with us. His guest, George.
I would have charged this laptop also. In the conference room, like, is there a place to charge?
Yeah, that's where you keep your laptop for presentation.
And then pause the interview. It's called the interview. Just start to have an interview.
Many thanks for staying with us on the program. Now we look at housing deficit in Nigeria, with the many complexities facing housing, home ownership in Nigeria. Joining me on the program to talk about housing deficit and the complexities would be Nemesit Bassi, who is a real estate developer and the CEO of Nemesit Homes. Many thanks for joining me on the program. Hello, Bassi, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, we'll take a quick break and hopefully we get reconnected with her after the break. Many thanks for staying with us. We apologize for that break in transmission. I believe Nemseat can hear me now. Bassi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Many thanks for joining me on the program. She is the CEO of Nemterra Developers. Without me wasting much of our time, can you just walk us through some of the pressing challenges in housing in Nigeria?
Okay, so thank you so much for having me today. My name is Nemesit Bassi. I'm the MD and CEO of Nemterra Developers. So today we'll be talking about the housing deficit in Nigeria. Nigeria is such a great nation with so much to offer. So first of all, statistics shows that we need about 23 million houses to be able to service Nigerians. It's quite sad that as a country and as that's where we are today, we're still having the issues of housing deficit. But I used to say this all the time. It's my mantra that as someone in real estate, we should be able to bring in affordable homes for people to be able to stay. Nigeria is a great nation. We're the giants of Africa, and housing deficits should be the least of our problems. And that is why, in our own little way in real estate, we're trying to curb the housing deficits in the country.
Oh, beautiful. But let's walk us through, since you know in that space, the biggest challenges of home buyers in Nigeria. Would it be the affordability? Would it be the location? You know, what are those challenges that you would associate rather with getting an apartment or getting a house in Nigeria?
So yes, the biggest challenge in getting an apartment in Nigeria will be the affordability. That's one of the greatest challenge, and the affordability comes down to even the building materials, because price of building materials are really high. The prices of lands are also at a very high price. So it starts from there. It's the affordability. Apart from the affordability, we have most home buyers face the challenges of having to fall into the hands of scammers. So let me say they are trying to get affordable housing from people. People are promising them affordable houses. They may not know that these people are scammers, so they fall into the hands of scammers in the bid to get affordable housing. And then another thing that could also be a factor will be government policies. There are lots of government policies that affect realtors, and I also think that if the government has a way of maybe coming into the real estate sector to try and maybe collaborate with the real estate developers to regulate some of the prices ranging from prices of building materials to even the prices of lands and every other thing. I strongly feel that this story of affordable housing will become a reality.
Oh, thank you, Inensit. But walk us through or help us with provide a solution. What do you think? Where do you think the government can come in? What do you think can be done to help, address the issue of housing deficit, as you've just highlighted these challenges?
Okay, so the first thing I'll say here is PPP, like public-private partnership. The government should be able to partner with private real estate developers. The government may not be able to have it by itself, and even as a private developer, we need resources from the government, we need help from the government. So that's the first thing. The public-private partnership, it's supposed to be like a joint venture. The government can fund projects and then even give ways to developers to be able to build big things, and then the developers in turn can give back to the public in such a way that as an individual you should be able to pay for a house for up to 10 years. So I would think that maybe the money you are using to renew your rent every year, and then your landlord is adding to your rent every year, you would use it to pay for a property. And another way that the government can help is for government to come in coming in the stage of reforming prices. There are a lot of materials that are overpriced even while you're trying to build things. The government can regulate most of those prices. The government can regulate most of those prices for the developers. That if you're a developer working in the real estate space, you should be able to assess things at a lower rate. Another thing I think is the issue of mortgage. Like, individuals should be able to access mortgage from government or from banks or from we should be able to access finance so that it can help. Let me say, for instance, an individual is trying to get a house. That individual should be able to access finance to be able to pay off for a house for up to 10 years. And I strongly believe that it is possible. And another issue is for the government to reform every other sector of the economy, because every other sector of the economy also affects the real estate space. If the transportation sector is high, it also affects the real estate space directly, and by so doing, it makes affordable housing not to even not it makes us not to even be close to affordable housing. As a country, we should be able to build a full duplex with even 50 million naira. So, but right now it's not possible. It's not possible that if you want to go to by the standard of raising a particular structure to a good, maybe a standard structure, not even raising, like a standard structure, it's not possible. So I think that the public-private partnership is also is really needed. It's not is also needed. It's really needed, and then the government should be able to reform our prices. We should be able to assess things at the lowest price possible. Everything should not go up, because one of the things that are affecting us is inflation. Like, inflation has really eaten deep into the economy. So no matter what you want to buy, even if you're buying a bulb, or you're buying a fan, or you're buying an AC, it's very high, and all those things add to what is making real estate overpriced in Nigeria.
Okay, thank you very much, Basi. I'm just going to ask you this last question. What are your thoughts concerning real estate? Future thoughts in the future, housing in the future of Nigeria, looking at trends now that can be beneficial for both investors and developers. But what are your thoughts basically in the future of housing in Nigeria?
What my thoughts are is that I feel like real estate will make a significant impact in the country, because housing is one of the basic necessities for us as human beings. So I feel like with all the innovations and all the trends, we'll be able to build something really significant, because as I would say, Nigerians are very intelligent people. So right now we're not doing basic things in real estate. We're following trends from countries like UAE. We're copying from those developers that really inspire us, and we're trying to make something solid in real estate. Any genuine developer will tell you that one of their keywords should be developing very solid structures, not developing a structure that maybe it doesn't give long lasting value. That's the word. You're supposed to develop a structure that 100 years from today, people will come look at it, and then they will say, oh, this was really good, this was really beautiful. So real estate in Nigeria is getting to that level whereby we'll have like significant pieces whereby people from even outside the country will come look at what we've done so far, and I'm really hopeful about the future. I'm hopeful that we'll be able to curb the housing deficit problem in the country, because we're working day and night. We're working to reform the whole real estate space. We're working to reform the whole thought of overpricing in real estate. So we're working to make significant changes, because as I would say, the changes start from us, not even the government. We are the change that we want. So if we want to really make impact in the society, we should also have to work on ourselves and change the way we do things.
Thank you very much, Inemesit Basi, for your contribution. We really hope that you'll join us again some other time on the program.
Thank you very much, sir.
Well, if you've just joined us, we have been speaking with Inemesit Basi, who is the MD CEO, Nemterra Developers, and she has been walking us through housing deficits in Nigeria and addressing obstacles to accommodation. Well, that's how much time would permit us to take on the program. Don't forget to follow us across all social media platforms using @GlobalTVNG and other handles now showing on your screen. You can also download the Global TV Nigeria mobile app for Android and iOS devices to keep track of our broadcast. I'm Queen Agaba. Thank you for watching, and see you again.